3 hours before the wedding, my fiancé said he would not come to pick me up, and he and Xiao Shuer got the marriage certificate. I endured the gossips of the guests alone, and at this moment, my fiancé's uncle Gu Yuan opened the door of the hotel. He brought the most luxurious wedding car team, presented 9,999 roses, and said that he had been secretly in love with me for many years and dreamed of marrying me. I was touched that he saved me from embarrassment and nodded in agreement immediately. I had been married for 3 years and had 7 miscarriages. I finally got pregnant again. Gu Yuan hugged me and spun me around with heartache and joy, asking me to take good care of the pregnancy and promising to protect me and the baby with his life. However, when she was 3 months pregnant, I ran into him talking to his private doctor. The doctor said, "Mr. Gu, just like the previous 7 times, your wife's abortion pills have been put into her milk." The doctor asked again in confusion, "I don't understand, Xiao Shuer can give birth to your child, why can't your wife?" Gu Yuan laughed at himself and said, "Only by giving birth to an heir can we take over the group. Gu surely can't give birth, how can I bear to let Shuer suffer in the future?" It turns out that the so-called deep love oath is nothing but a lie. In this case, I decided to leave. The story is about to begin. If you like it, remember to like and subscribe. The doctor said to Gu Yuan, "By doing this, you not only give up the opportunity to become the next chairman of the group, but also lose the 7 children of you and your wife. You have been asking me to forge the medical examination report of my cousin, and he doesn't even know that he is infertile. When the child is born in the future, he won't be able to call you dad. Is it really worth it?" Gu Yuan's expression was affectionate and sad. He said, "So what? Since I couldn't get Shuer to marry me, I will protect her happiness for the rest of her life. No one can destroy it, not even my Aunt Sharon's child." The doctor was a little hesitant, but Madame has had 7 miscarriages. If she has another one, I'm afraid she won't be able to get pregnant again. Gu Yuan pursed his lips and said after a while, "It doesn't matter, I will take care of her for the rest of my life anyway." The veins on the back of my hand holding the study door handle bulged and trembled uncontrollably. Before Gu Yuan found me, I ran back to the bedroom in a daze and slid to the floor. I always thought that it was because of my weak body that I couldn't keep the fetus, which led to 7 miscarriages in 3 years. Gu Yuan's father had already said that whoever gave birth to an heir first, whether it was him or his grandson Gu Shirley, would become the next chairman of the group. Because of multiple miscarriages in a short period of time, my body was seriously damaged. Even so, I never complained, and even felt guilty because I felt that I was dragging Gu Yuan down. It turned out that those deep vows of love were just a scam. In order to prevent me from suspecting, he refused to use contraceptive measures, allowing my health to be consumed again and again. In his eyes, my body and my dead children were just obstacles on Xiao Shuer's road to happiness. "Xiao Ran, why are you sitting on the floor?" Gu Yuan walked into the bedroom, quickly helped me up, and asked with a caring look on his face. "It's okay, I just had some morning sickness," I answered, pretending to be calm. He stroked my back lovingly to make me breathe more comfortably, and said gently, "Honey, thank you for your hard work. Next time you feel uncomfortable with pregnancy, remember to call me. Don't bear it by yourself. I will feel bad. You always have trouble sleeping after you get pregnant. When the baby is born, I will spank him so that he won't feel bad for his mother. Come, have a cup of hot milk, it will help you sleep." Looking at the glass of milk, I felt a pang of pain in my heart, and thought to myself, will there really be a next time? Before each of my miscarriages, he was also so considerate, either preparing midnight snacks for me or personally making my favorite fruit salad. I thought that was a sign of his love for me, but it turned out to be just a disguise of the executioner. "Honey, I don't like the taste of milk. Can I not drink it?" I tried to refuse. Gu Yuan smiled helplessly, but his tone was unyielding. "Xiao Ran, stop making trouble. The doctor said that the more you dislike eating something, the more your body lacks something. If you don't sleep well, the baby won't well rest either. Don't you love him the most? Be obedient, for the sake of our baby, your husband will feed you." He half coaxed and half forced the cup to my lips, not giving me any chance to refuse. "Gu Yuan, are you so afraid that my child will block Xiao Shuer's path? Or, in your heart, you only want her to give birth to your child?" I closed my eyes in despair and drank the whole glass of milk. Less than half an hour later, the drug started to take effect. I curled up in bed in pain, sweating profusely. Gu Yuan had just finished calling his private doctor when the doctor came in. He had obviously been waiting outside. Even though I had experienced 7 miscarriages, I was still heartbroken to lose my child again. I was in so much pain that I was in a trance. I heard the doctor say, "Mr. Gu, your wife had a miscarriage this time and the amount of bleeding was heavier than any other time before. I'm afraid her body has been completely damaged and she will never be able to have children again. Gu Yuan didn't say anything. With red eyes, he held me in his arms and said, Xiao Ran, don't worry. Even if we don't have children, I still love you. I will take care of you for the rest of my life. This president, who had been blessed with everything he needed since childhood, personally helped me clean the blood stains on my body. He was afraid that I would feel cold after the miscarriage, so he held me tightly in his arms when we slept. Late at night, Gu Yuan, who was sound asleep, whispered in his sleep, Shui, don't be afraid, I will definitely help you get happiness. The tears I had been holding back for so long burst out at this moment. At the wedding, he also said that he would make me happy, but it was just a lie to comfort me and prevent me from disturbing Xiao Shui. I suddenly realized that my marriage over the years was a complete joke. I sent a text message to my best friend who is far away abroad. Last time you said you wanted me to travel around the world with you. I've made up my mind. I will go to country F to see you the day after tomorrow. I put down my phone, but my lower abdomen still felt uncomfortable. Thinking about how I had just lost another child, who was strangled to death by his own father, I felt so heartbroken that I could hardly breathe. I locked myself in the bathroom, recalling every little thing I had with Gu Yuan over the years, letting my tears fall. When I stood up, my phone accidentally fell to the ground. I bent down to pick it up, but found something under the cabinet of the sink, wrapped in layers of expensive silk, extremely precious. After opening it, I found that it was a thick album, which was full of photos of Xiao Shui from the age of 15 to the current age of 28. I had seen the cover of the album in Gu Yuan's office. Gu Yuan was a photography enthusiast. Although Gu Yuan is Gu Shirley's uncle, he is only a few years older than us. When we were young, he often looked at me and Gu Shirley playing together with a cold face, as if he was too lazy to participate in the childish games between little brats. It was not until I was 15 that Xiao Shui took the initiative to be friends with me. I didn't think much about it. Seeing that she was always alone, I introduced her to Gu Shirley and Gu Yuan. It seemed that from that time on, Gu Yuan started to join our activities and also began to learn photography. I thought that the boy had changed his mind after growing up, but it turned out that he had met someone he liked. Only a few of the photos in the album were ones I had seen, and most of them were moments that I had never even noticed. Xiao Shui's every smile, anger, and even just the way she tied her hair were captured by Gu Yuan. Since we got married, Gu Yuan has never touched a camera. Once I wanted him to take a photo of my pregnancy, but he said his camera was lost and introduced me to a famous photographer. It turned out that it was not lost, but his lens could only take photos of the people he loved. My eyes were dry and I couldn't shed a single tear. I quietly put the album back. I bought the plane ticket with my phone and drafted a divorce agreement. Since he loves Xiao Shui so much, I will fulfill his wish. The next morning, my eyes were swollen like walnuts. Gu Yuan felt so distressed that he personally made me a nutritious meal, boiled eggs, peeled them carefully, and helped me reduce the swelling. His attentive and considerate look almost made me doubt whether what happened last night was a dream. But my empty stomach reminded me that everything was real. Seeing that I didn't move a word, he sighed, Xiao Ran, our child is gone. I know you are sad, and I am sad too, but you should also take care of your body. You have had so many miscarriages over the years, and your health is already very poor. Eat more and don't let me worry, okay? Where is the baby's body? I want to see him. After 3 months, my baby should have been fully formed, but he never had the chance to come into the world. The answer I got was the same as the previous 7 times. I have asked someone to bury the child properly. You are in a bad mood right now, and I am afraid that you will be sad to see it. Mom and Dad are heartbroken when they know you had another miscarriage. Let's go back to the old house for dinner today and visit them. As soon as I entered the old house, I saw Xiao Shui holding her mother-in-law's arm and acting like a spoiled child. When she saw me, she showed off by sticking out her belly. Xiao Ran is here. Long time no see, come and sit down. I heard that you had another miscarriage, don't get tired. Since the wedding incident, Gu Shirley, Xiao Shui and I have fallen out, and I usually come to the old house when they are not around. I didn't expect it to be such a coincidence today. I looked at her 6-month-old belly and felt a sharp pain in my heart when I thought that this was Gu Yuan's child. He had never allowed a child in my belly to live past 3 months. When she saw me, my mother-in-law's face suddenly darkened. Useless piece of shit, you can't even hold the baby in your belly, how many times has this happened? And you still have the nerve to say you're tired? Why did my son choose someone like you? She is Gu Yuan's biological mother, but Gu Shirley's step-grandmother, and she is only 50 years old this year. How could she not be angry when she saw that the chairman's position that originally belonged to her son was taken away by Gu Shirley? In the past, Gu Yuan would defend me, but at this moment, he only had Xiao Shuer in his eyes. His eyes were full of longing and infatuation, and he couldn't hear what others said at all. Grandma, don't be angry. Xiaoran just wasn't destined to be a mother. She didn't want to do that after so many children died. Xiao Shuer said hypocritically. The mother-in-law snorted coldly, you are a jinx and will only drag down my son. Xiao Shuer tried to plead with me insincerely, and even tried to pull me to sit down, but as soon as she stood up, her body swayed. Even though she quickly stabilized herself, Gu Yuan still pushed me away, ignoring the presence of his parents, and held me in his arms, anxiously asking, Shuer, are you okay? You were pregnant, how did you come out by yourself? Where's Gu Shirley? Xiao Shuer smiled sweetly and said, Shirley is on a business trip to the United States. He will take over as chairman soon and is very busy. She looked at me with a provocative look and said to Gu Yuan in a coquettish voice, Yuan, I think I sprained my ankle just now. It hurt so much. Without saying a word, Gu Yuan picked her up like a princess and ran straight to the bedroom on the second floor without even looking at me. My mother-in-law gave me a meaningful look and sneered, not only can you not lay eggs, but you can't even keep a man under control. If Shirley hadn't married Shui, first, would my son have fallen in love with you? You still have the nerve to eat? Go upstairs. I have no appetite when I see you. I always knew that my mother-in-law didn't like me. She thought I was a woman that Gu Shirley didn't want, but I was attached to her son and brought shame to Gu Yuan. And because I had several miscarriages, she hated me even more. But because she was Gu Yuan's mother, I also thought it was because I couldn't keep the baby, and I felt guilty. Besides, Gu Yuan would say a few words on my behalf, so I endured it every time. But now, Gu Yuan is busy caring about Xiao Shuer, how can he think of me? For a moment, I wanted to tell the truth, but finally gave up. Since I have decided to leave, why waste my breath? I walked upstairs without saying a word and found that Xiao Shuer's door was not closed tightly. For some reason, I walked over and saw Xiao Shuer lying on the bed with her clothes disheveled, and Gu Yuan pressing on her. Yuan, you still love me the most. Shirley is infertile. If Jiangren gives birth to a child, he will not be able to inherit the group. I don't know how much suffering I will have to endure in the future. Xiao Shuer said coquettishly. Gu Yuan panted slightly, his eyes flushed with lust. Is Gu Shirley good to you? Has he ever bullied you? No, ever since I got pregnant, he has been pampering me to the heavens. He was afraid that I would get tired, so he washed my feet himself and was even more caring towards me in bed. Gu Yuan's expression was somewhat bitter. As long as he treats you well, as long as you can be happy, I will have no regrets. Shirley, you've helped me so much. Since I can marry you, I have to give myself to you. Tonight, I'm yours. Xiao Shuer's voice became more and more gentle. Gu Yuan couldn't control himself at all, and he moved even harder, and the two of them rolled together crazily. I never knew that Gu Yuan, who was always aloof and restrained, would have such an irrational side. Tears rolled down my cheeks, and I returned to my bedroom in a panic. Gu Yuan didn't come back the whole night. The next day, he looked at me apologetically and said, Xiaoran, I wanted to go back to accompany you last night, but my mom kept talking to me all night, so I couldn't leave. I didn't expose his lie and turned to wait for him at the door. A bucket of slop filled with leftovers was poured over my head, and Xiao Shuer suddenly appeared in front of me with a bucket of slop in her hand. Jiangran, do you like the way a Yuan went crazy on me? She smiled provocatively. It must be uncomfortable to have a miscarriage, right? But you won't have this kind of worry in the future. After all, you can never have a child again. Do you dare to get pregnant again and again, trying to snatch the position of the wife of the chairman of the Gu group from me? Don't dream, a Yuan not only gave up the qualification to inherit the group for me, but also helped me get pregnant. Even the children you died have become my supplements. I raised my head suddenly, and my voice trembled. What did you say? Why do you think that every time you had a miscarriage, a Yuan would tell you that the baby had been buried and not let you see it? Of course it's because I told him that eating that would be good for my health. Despair, anger, and disbelief all flooded my mind. So this is why Gu Yuan didn't let me see the child? How could he do this for Xiao Shuer? Xiao Shuer smiled gloatingly and said, Don't look so aggrieved. Who can you blame? Blame yourself for being useless. With a useless mother like you, your child is only worthy of being the nourishment for my child. I couldn't bear it any longer, so I raised my hand and slapped Xiao Shuer in the face. Pa! The slap didn't hit her face. Gu Yuan pulled Xiao Shuer behind him and took the slap for her. He pushed me to the ground and angrily said, Jiangran, what are you doing? Xiao Shuer cried aggrievedly, a Yuan, I originally wanted to comfort Xiaoran and tell her not to be sad about the child. But she was jealous of my pregnancy and said that I took away her position as the future chairman's wife. She wanted to pour swill on me. I pushed her subconsciously. It was not intentional. I have already apologized to her, but she wanted to hit me and said that she had to make me have an abortion. Without waiting for me to explain, Gu Yuan looked at me with a gloomy face. Jiang Ran, why didn't I know before that you are such a vain woman? You can't keep the child because you are incompetent. Why do you vent your anger on Shui? And betray her kindness? Don't covet things that don't belong to you. Apologize to Shui. Now. I have no ability? I looked at his face and suddenly felt like I was looking at a stranger. Gu Yuan, tell me, where did you send the bodies of my dead children? I asked. Gu Yuan frowned. Of course it was buried, didn't I tell you that? His acting skills are really good. Gu Yuan, you are right. I shouldn't covet things that don't belong to me. Don't worry, I will never go against Xiao Shuer again. After saying that, I turned around and left without hesitation. Gu Yuan looked at my back and suddenly felt a little panicked. He wanted to call me, but was stopped by Xiao Shuer. A Yuan, the swill splashed on me. I feel like vomiting. Can you take me to the hospital? Gu Yuan hesitated for 2 seconds, but ultimately did not chase after him. When I got home, I found all the things Gu Yuan had given me over the years and threw them into the brazier. As soon as I took out the marriage certificate, the WeChat ringtone rang, and I opened it and took a look. Jiang Ran, I just said that I wanted to vomit, and a Yuan nervously invited the most powerful professor of obstetrics and gynecology from all over the country to come for me. Even if the professor is not local, he would use a helicopter to bring him here. Aren't you envious? The message sent by Xiao Shuer was full of bragging. I ignored her and watched the marriage certificate being consumed by the flames and turned into ashes. I wasn't worried at all that Gu Yuan would see it, because I knew he wouldn't be back tonight. Sure enough, Gu Yuan called. Xiao Ran, Shui is having a miscarriage. Shirley is not at home. As his uncle, I must help him take care of Shui. Don't be angry. Thinking of the WeChat photo that Xiao Shuer sent just now, she was eating the fruit that Gu Yuan had cut for her with a rosy face. How could she look uncomfortable at all? Okay, I get it. The pregnant woman is the most important. You should take good care of her. I responded indifferently. Gu Yuan paused and said in a gentle voice, Xiao Ran, I didn't mean to be mean to you today. I know you are upset because the child is gone. But Shui is pregnant after all. She is the blood of the Gu family. You and I can no longer carry on the family line. If Shui gets into trouble, I'm afraid my parents won't be able to bear it. I find it ridiculous. Why does he have to make so many excuses? Just stay home and be good. Tomorrow is your birthday. I have booked the best hotel and prepared a surprise for you. I will go back to pick you up tomorrow morning. Gu Yuan still hadn't come back until noon the next day. I put the signed divorce agreement on the table and set a timer to send a recording to Gu Yuan. After doing all this, I took my luggage and went to the airport. As soon as I arrived at the airport, Gu Yuan called again. I'm sorry, Xiao Ran. Several partners suddenly came to the company to discuss clothing cooperation for the next quarter, and I really can't leave. I asked my secretary to pick you up at the hotel. Haven't you always wanted me to design a dress for you? I have already designed it for you. It will look great when you wear it later. Yeah, okay. I replied calmly. After hanging up the phone, my eyes fell on the 2 girls next to me. They were looking at photos on their phones and said enviously. Oh my god, I didn't expect that President Gu is so handsome and designed such beautiful maternity clothes. I want to get pregnant. Do you think you can buy them just because you're pregnant? All the clothes at today's fashion show were designed by President Gu specifically for his pregnant wife. Each piece is unique and made of the most expensive fabrics. There must be hundreds of them. I'm afraid you won't be able to wear them all even after the baby is born. I'm so envious. I heard that President Gu didn't want to disturb his wife, so this exhibition is not open to the public. Your boyfriend is amazing. He can be a supervisor in Gu Group and take internal photos for us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to enjoy this wave of dog food. In the picture, Xiao Shuer is holding Gu Yuan's arm, walking through the gorgeous clothes designed for her, smiling ostentatiously. Gu's group is in the clothing industry, and Gu Yuan's design talent is outstanding. I used to act like a spoiled child to him, wanting him to design a dress for me, but he always said he was busy and couldn't get away. But he designed hundreds of pieces for Xiao Shuer. Thinking of the tone of him saying he designed a dress for me as a surprise, I feel ironic. The boarding time has arrived. I turn off my phone and board the flight to a foreign country. After Gu Yuan accompanied Xiao Shuer to choose clothes, he went to the hotel for the birthday party. He thought that Xiao Ran would be as beautiful as an angel when she appeared in that dress. But he did not wait for Xiao Ran, but only for the panicked secretary. "Mr. Gu, it's bad, the wife is missing." Gu Yuan looked at the skirt he asked his secretary to send, and it was brought back intact. He didn't understand what the secretary meant for a moment, and frowned and said, "What do you mean it's missing? Is the madam not at home?" "I'm afraid it's not just that you're not at home." The secretary handed him the divorce agreement with a complicated expression. Gu Yuan was stunned. Before he could speak, Xiao Shuer came over holding her belly. Seeing the divorce agreement, she sneered, "Jiang Ran is so funny. She's so grown up, and she's still playing this kind of breakup drama. Do you think she's a young girl?" "A Yuan, she was just angry that you defended me yesterday. Knowing that you specially held a birthday party for her, she wanted to deliberately control you and make you bow to her. Jiang Ran has been hanging around other men like this since she was a child. I know her too well. Really, she was the one who hit me first. How can you have the nerve to turn your face away? You don't even think about how much effort you put into organizing her birthday party and designing her skirt. You're really heartless. Don't worry, a Yuan, if you ignore her, she won't be able to help herself after a while. She's an old woman who's almost 30 years old. She's had so many miscarriages and can't have children. Who would want her if she left you? She can't wait to get on you and not get off. All licking dogs are like this. You just can't spoil them, otherwise they'll be cocky." Gu Yuan did not speak, his eyes fixed on the divorce agreement. In the column for the woman's name, the two words Jiang Ran were written with great force, almost penetrating the paper, showing how determined he was when signing. He knew Xiao Ran, she would never joke with him about such things. Not long after their marriage, Xiao Ran became pregnant with his first child. At that time, he was watching videos with Xiao Ran on the sofa. He saw a girl who threatened her husband with divorce every time she quarreled with him, and the boy would admit his mistakes. Gu Yuan looked down on such tactics, he hated being threatened the most. Xiao Ran said to him seriously, "Gu Yuan, since I married you, I will never ask for a divorce easily, but if one day I say it, it means I really want to leave you." At that time, he was thinking about how to get rid of the baby in Xiao Ran's belly, because Xiao Shuer came to him crying, saying that Gu Shirley was infertile and that if he could not become the chairman of Gu Group, she would suffer. So he did not take it to heart, but now thinking about it, Gu Yuan could not help but feel flustered. After Xiao Shuer finished speaking, the guests around her also showed mocking eyes. Those mockings were not directed at him, but at me. Because I had multiple miscarriages, people in the circle secretly called me Guanyin, the goddess of child killing. Gu Yuan had heard such rumors before, and he always smiled indifferently. But now he felt that these looks were so annoying, and he began to be dissatisfied with Xiao Shuer. Today is Xiao Ran's birthday. Is it necessary for her to say that in front of so many people? Others don't know why Xiao Ran had a miscarriage, but doesn't she know? Gu Yuan's face darkened slightly. "Xiao Shuer, Xiao Ran is your aunt, you always call her by her name, is that appropriate?" Xiao Shuer was stunned for a moment, a little embarrassed. I'm used to it. After all, Jiang Ran is also my friend." "Really? I've known Xiao Ran before you have. She has never been anyone's bootlicker, let alone hooked up with any man. Even when you snatched Gu Shirley away, she never pestered you. Why do you say that about her? Is this what you call a friend?" Gu Yuan looked around and said, "Today's banquet is cancelled. I need to go find my wife. Please do as you please." Xiao Shuer quickly grabbed him and used the same trick again. "A Yuan, my stomach feels a little uncomfortable, don't leave." Gu Yuan, who always asked for everything from her, didn't buy it this time. He always thought that Xiao Shuer was a weak daughter that needed his protection. But her words just now overturned the image in his mind. Gu Yuan pulled his hand away and said indifferently, "Go see a doctor if you feel uncomfortable. Shirley should return home today. You should ask your husband to accompany you. After all, I am your uncle. I have done everything I can for you. You and Shirley should walk your own way in the future. This is the end of our relationship. I am going to find Xiao Ran now. Also, I don't want to hear those words again. Don't take advantage of Xiao Ran and slander her. You should take care of yourself." After saying that, he left without looking back. As soon as he got home, his personal doctor called him and said, "Mr. Gu, wasn't the fashion show you held for Xiao Shuer private? How did it spread all over the world? What if your wife saw it? She just had a miscarriage not long ago and can't stand the stimulation." Gu Yuan then discovered that someone had secretly taken photos of him and Xiao Shuer and posted them online in order to gain traffic. Did Xiao Ran see it, too? Suddenly, a message came to the mailbox. It was a recorded email from Xiao Ran. Gu Yuan opened it happily, but after hearing the content, his face suddenly turned pale. It turned out that Xiao Ran knew everything that night. No wonder she begged him so pitifully not to let her drink that glass of milk. But what did he do? Hello? Mr. Gu, are you listening? If you have time, remember to bring your wife for a follow-up checkup, said the doctor on the other end of the phone. She can't go, Gu Yuan said in a low voice. What? The doctor asked in confusion. Gu Yuan's voice was choked with sobs. Xiao Ran knew everything, and she left. At this time, I had already arrived at the other side of the ocean. As soon as I got off the plane, I saw my best friend Fang Yan from a distance, whom I hadn't seen for a long time. After hearing the whole story from me, Fang Yan was so angry that she rolled up her sleeves and rushed back to China to fight to the death with Gu Yuan and Qiao Shuer. I held her back and said, forget it, Yan Yan. I have already left the divorce agreement and I don't want to have anything to do with them anymore. Fang Yan hugged me distressledly. It's okay, it's better to leave that scumbag, otherwise he will kill you one day. Let him and that bitch Qiao Shuer be locked together. You are beautiful and talented. When you were still in college, many directors were vying for the scripts you wrote. If it weren't for that bastard Gu Yuan, you would have been a gold medal screenwriter long ago. I felt bitter. Fang Yan and I both studied screenwriting and were rated as 2 future stars in the screenwriting industry by our department teachers. Fang Yan was a non-marriage advocate and flew to Australia to develop her career right after graduation. I got pregnant with my first child right after I married Gu Yuan. Gu Yuan worried about my safety and stopped me from going out to work. I stayed at home to take care of the baby. From then on, I fell into the nightmare of constant pregnancy and miscarriage. Fortunately, I have now crawled out of the nightmare. Fang Yan said that she had another project and she couldn't handle it alone, so she hoped that I could cooperate with her and split the profit 50-50. I smiled and nodded. After all, being a screenwriter is also my dream. But before that, let's just have some fun. Scripts can be written anywhere anyway. My last play sold a lot of money, so you can just follow me and get some benefits. Traveling around the world was a promise we made when we were in college, and now it can finally come true. While Fang Yan and I were running around the world, eating, drinking and having fun, Gu Yuan in China was looking for me like crazy. He had never been late for work, but he hadn't been to the company for a long time. Gu Shirley was preparing to take over the position of chairman and tried his best to perform in front of Mr. Gu. Unfortunately, some projects were in charge of Gu Yuan, and only he knew the details. However, he neither went to the company nor answered the phone, which made Gu Shirley quite passive. He made several mistakes in decision-making, which made Mr. Gu severely reprimand him, and the matter of taking over the position of chairman was also postponed. Qiao Shuer came to see Gu Yuan with a big belly, hoping that he would come back to the company to help. After all, she didn't want to let the duck fly away. Yuan, haven't you found Jiang Ran yet? She's really something. There should be a limit to her temper. Because of her, the company has become a mess, and you are so tired. Xiao Shuer said hypocritically. Shut up. I don't want to bother with you, but you still want to take advantage of me to get ahead, right? The company is in chaos because of Gu Shirley's incompetence. What does it have to do with Xiao Ran? Gu Yuan roared. He had never been mean to Qiao Shuer, let alone cursed at her. Qiao Shuer was startled, and her eyes were filled with tears as she pouted, Yuan, I feel sorry for you too. Why are you being mean to me? You're scaring me. Gu Yuan sneered, grabbed her neck fiercely, and laughed creepily. Qiao Shuer, why are you still pretending in front of me? Are you afraid? You even dare to eat Xiao Ran's flesh and blood as nutrition? Are you afraid? What nutritional supplements? Yuan, I don't understand what you are talking about. Xiao Shuer looked a little flustered. Gu Yuan had expected her to do this, and he pulled out the surveillance footage of the old house entrance that day. Xiao Shuer was so arrogant and fearless that she actually forgot that there was a surveillance camera at the entrance of the old house. You have been pretending to be weak in front of me all these years. You care about Xiao Ran in front of me, but you bully her behind her back. If it weren't for what you said on the birthday party, I would not have realized how hypocritical you are. Because of your hypocrisy, I killed Xiao Ran and my children again and again, so that she could never have children again. I deserve to die, and I admit it. But you actually dared to bribe the people around me and give those children to. You even deliberately provoked Xiao Ran. She no longer poses any threat to you, why don't you let her go? The truth was revealed, and Xiao Shuer had no way to defend herself. She could only cry and plead. Yuan, I have my reasons. The master I consulted said that only by eating those can I give birth to a boy. Only a boy can consolidate my position. I really had no choice. That's enough. You are obsessed with your position and your identity as the chairman's wife. Have you ever thought about Xiaoran? Why did you tell her that I gave the child to you? Aren't you trying to force her to leave me and make me your dog? Don't you want to have a boy and become the chairman's wife? Xiao Shuer, I will let you know how it feels to lose the thing you value most. Gu Yuan clapped his hands, and several men in white coats walked in, looking ferocious. Xiao Shuer's eyes were full of fear. What are you going to do? I'm your niece-in-law, the future chairman's wife. I have your blood in my belly, you can't touch me. Gu Yuan smiled like a devil from hell. Chairman's wife? You forced Xiaoran away, and you still think you can take that position? Take out the dirt in her body, don't give her anesthesia, and then watch her eat it raw. Those people dragged Xiao Shuer away, and soon her screams rang out throughout the villa. When traveling to Iceland, Fang Yan and I both fell in love with the aurora borealis. It was so dazzlingly beautiful that even the best photographers could not capture 1/10 of its shock and splendor. After discussing, we decided to stay here temporarily and start writing the script. In addition to writing the script, I also fell in love with sea fishing and often took the trophies I caught to the port to sell. That day, Fang Yan and I were bargaining with a stingy uncle over a piece of fish. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out, "I'll buy all these seafood." Gu Yuan just appeared in front of me. He looked at me with obsession and attachment, and spoke softly after a long time, as if he was afraid of disturbing a dream. "Xiaoran, I finally found you." Before I could say anything, Fang Yan turned into a fighter plane, protecting me behind her, and yelled at Gu Yuan, "You bastard, you still have the nerve to look for Xiaoran? You still think she hasn't been hurt enough by you, right? Get out of here now, we'd rather feed our stuff to the dogs than sell it to you." Gu Yuan, who was a face-loving person, didn't say anything back even when he was scolded. He said to me with guilt and pleading, "Xiaoran, I know I'm a beast. I'm sorry for you. Let's talk alone, okay?" I said indifferently, "Gu Yuan, we are no longer in a relationship where we can chat alone. You don't need to apologize to me, just go back." Gu Yuan shook his head stubbornly. "No, Xiaoran, I finally found you, how can I let you leave me again? As long as I haven't signed the divorce agreement, you are still my wife." Fang Yan was so angry that she wanted to rush over and hit him, but I stopped her and told her not to dirty her hands. I looked at Gu Yuan and smiled sarcastically, "So what do you want? Let me go back and continue to be your wife?" "Gu Yuan, I have lost 8 children and can no longer get pregnant. I can no longer provide nourishing food for your Xiao Shuer. She should have given birth to your child. Why are you still looking for me?" Gu Yuan's face turned pale and he shook his head in panic. "No, Xiaoran, I don't think so. I didn't give her the bodies of our children. She bribed the people around me and deliberately angered you. How could I be so cruel?" I interrupted him with a sneer, "So, since you didn't give it to me, you are innocent and can be forgiven, right? It was she who stole the children's bodies, but it was you who killed them. Don't you think it's ridiculous to say this now?" Gu Yuan's eyes were full of guilt. "Xiao Wan, I'm sorry, I really know I was wrong. I have already aborted the baby in Xiao Shuer's belly, and she will not come out to hinder us in the future. If you like, I can also compete for the position of chairman. Xiaoran, as long as you come back with me, I can do anything." I looked into his tearful eyes and said word by word, "Then go die." "What?" Gu Yuan was stunned and his eyes widened in disbelief. "Didn't you say you can do anything? Then go and die, and pay for the lives of my children." It was the first time that I saw helplessness on Gu Yuan's face. "Xiaoran, do you hate me so much?" His voice trembled. "Yes, I don't just hate you, I also detest you. I feel physically sick just by looking at you, so get as far away from me as possible. Do you understand?" Gu Yuan seemed to have received a severe blow. He knelt down in front of me, tears streaming down his face. I looked down at him quietly, without any ripples in my heart. "Gu Yuan, when I married you, I really wanted to be with you forever, but what about you? For Xiao Shuer, you aborted my children again and again, watched my body getting weaker day by day, and made me suffer the ridicule of your mother and outsiders. Even so, I still begged you, I begged you not to let me drink that glass of milk, but you still forced me to drink it. I never care about the identity of the chairman's wife. Whether you are rich or not has nothing to do with me. Even the position of your wife, as long as you tell me, I can give it up. I will take the child and fly away, and never bother you. But you said nothing, and took the initiative to deprive me of the qualification of being a mother, making me suffer the pain of the death of my child again and again. Gu Yuan, admit it, in your heart, you don't regard me as a human being at all." Gu Yuan cried and shook his head. No, it's not like that. Gu Yuan, I'm living a good life now. I feel so free and happy after leaving you. If you really want to compensate me, just sign the divorce agreement and never appear in front of me again in your life. After saying that, I never looked at him again and turned away. Fang Yan poured the whole basket of fish and shrimp with a strong smell of the sea on Gu Yuan's head and smashed the basket hard on him. Gu Yuan, if you are still a human being, let Xiaoren go and don't bother her again. Gu Yuan knelt for a long time, allowing people around him to point fingers at him and only left unsteadily late at night. The next day, I found a divorce agreement at the door. Gu Yuan finally signed it. A few days later, a huge sum of money suddenly appeared in my account, as high as several hundred million. Fang Yan ran to me in a panic, holding her phone. Several explosive news jumped into her eyes. The body of Qiao, the granddaughter-in-law of Gu's group who had been missing for a year, was found in the basement of her husband's uncle's house. She died in a miserable state, with a huge wound on her abdomen, and the fetus was missing. There were other body tissues in her stomach. It was initially determined that Gu Yuan, the president of Gu Group, turned himself in and confessed to the crime of murdering Qiao. In addition, he also confessed that he and Qiao had colluded to give his pregnant ex-wife abortion pills several times, causing her to have multiple miscarriages. In the first instance, Gu Yuan was sentenced to death according to law. His parents fainted at home and have been sent to XXX hospital for treatment. Gu Shirley officially took over as the chairman of Gu Group. Gu Group's stock price plummeted, and the estimated loss. Fang Yan was stunned and stammered, "Is Gu Yuan crazy?" I stared at the account balance for a long time without saying anything. In the end, I kept the money and set up a children's aid foundation to accumulate virtue for my children, hoping that they can be born into a good family in the next life. The script was completed smoothly. Fang Yan and I made a lot of money, and we drank at home to celebrate. When she was drunk, she asked me, "Are you sad that Gu Yuan died?" In my drunken state, for a moment, I seemed to see the day when Gu Yuan and I took our marriage certificate photos. Our heads leaned against each other, full of beautiful visions of our future life. When I opened my eyes again, I realized it was just an illusion caused by drinking too much. I shook my head and laughed drunkenly. The past is hard to recall, so it's better to go back.